Because when you feel good about yourself and when you feel feminine and empowered, that is when you attract good stuff.
Correct.
So again, this is not about men.
Welcome to Love Stories, a relationship podcast for successful women, where we talk about love, dating, relationships, and how great love stories are made. Whether you're searching for the one, you're madly in love, or simply curious about romantic relationships, this podcast is for you. I'm Charlene Byars. Each week, you'll hear from women, couples, and experts, and all the ins and outs on how to create your own love story. I am so passionate about this subject, and I'm so excited to share all the things that you can apply to create a beautiful love story of your own. Cheers to great love. Welcome back to the Love Stories podcast. I'm your host, Charlene Byars. Oh my goodness, it's official. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Today is January 1st, 2025. Wow. I don't know about you, but every year I get so excited for the new year. I get so excited for all the new possibilities and all the cool things to come. I also know life can be hard. And I know that there are good things that happen, bad things that happen. We all have the good times and the bad times. But I love the new year because it gives me an opportunity to get excited for the new projects, the goals, and the things that I want to work on and things that I'm just looking forward to. And actually, I recently was talking to a good friend of mine, and we had this deep conversation about what is the meaning of life and what does it mean to feel contentment and love yourself? Because I think a lot of us get confused about that. At least I did. What I've learned and what I feel is when it comes to loving yourself, it's not as easy as just getting up and looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Because sometimes I look at myself and I can literally see all the wrinkles. I call them laugh lines. Sometimes you don't feel it. And loving yourself is a feeling. It's a peace. It's a contentment. And it's a confidence. And one thing that I've come to realize is that we feel contentment and we feel good when we do hard things and we accomplish our goals. That's what actually gives us confidence. And confidence allows us to feel good about ourselves because we know that we are pushing forward and we are challenging ourselves. And when we know that we are making a difference in someone else's life, that allows us to feel good about who we are. For me, I feel that the meaning of life is all about the impact that we have and what we contribute to make someone's life better. It's about how we contribute and how being alive contributes to this world and makes it a better place. When I feel really good about who I am and have confidence is when I'm challenging myself and when I'm accomplishing hard things and when I'm helping and contributing to someone else's happiness. That is what helps me stop putting all the focus on me and focus on how I'm actually showing up and how I contribute to others. That ultimately makes me feel good about who I am, and that goes for everything in life. When we concentrate on our own peace and feel grateful within, we attract love because we feel love. And that's how great relationships work. What I've learned is we attract what we are, not what we want. It's who we are is what we attract. And if you're looking for great love, we need to give ourselves great love and peace first within. Let's talk about the tip of the week, which is, it's not your job to chase men, but to attract them. Ladies, we do not chase men. It doesn't actually work that way. We actually attract them by who we are and how we feel inside. When you focus on yourself and doing good things for others, you become the perfect partner, and that's when great men start showing up. Because when we focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves and we have peace within and we love who we are and we're not looking for someone to complete us, we feel complete and whole already. Then great men start showing up. And while you're single, don't worry about the men. Put yourself out there, have a great time, and let them come to you. Let them be, and don't worry if he texts you or calls you or makes plans. He will show you exactly how he feels about you by his actions. So if he's not pursuing you, don't worry about it. He's not for you. There are plenty of men who want a woman just like you. There are plenty of men who will pursue you and show up and show you how into you they are. Those are the men to pay attention to. The rest of them, just move on. I am thrilled to welcome my next guest to the show today. Esther Sarphatie has a bachelor's in psychology. She's a coach, an author, a speaker, and an influencer. She's the go-to person for people who seek one-on-one coaching with her practical tools, and she has helped people from all over the world to take charge of their lives. Her approach is authentic and honest, and her large social media following shows her expertise on everything from love to self-healing. Esther was born and raised in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and at a young age, she knew that she wanted to become a psychologist. After high school, she made a bold decision to move to Greece for love. She studied economics and politics and published a cookbook. Esther is her first foreigner to get her own cooking show on the Greek national television. She also acquired her second university degree in psychology. After having worked as a fitness model and a wellness coach, she decided to dedicate herself to helping people all over the world with their self-love, self-development, and all relationship-related issues. Oh my goodness, you guys, get ready for such an insightful and awesome conversation about how us women are showing up in the world of dating and what it really takes to attract great men. I just loved my conversation with Esther because she is a master when it comes to attraction and attracting great men. She helps women get out of their own way and step back into their feminine power and attract the man of their dreams. With no further ado, Esther Sarphatie.
Well, hello, Esther. Yay.
Hi.
Oh, Esther, let me just tell you something. This is so exciting because I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, what am I going to talk to Esther right in the beginning? Because I have so much questions. I have so much I want to ask and I want to learn so much today. But I thought about when I created this podcast. I created this podcast because I really wanted people to understand that, love is available for all of us. And sometimes, we can't see what we can't see. And sometimes what happens is we kind of get in our own way. And I believe it's so important that if we are not getting the success or we're not getting the relationships that we want, I think it's so important to be able to get a different perspective, to be able to get, some clarity that they might not be aware of, and to really learn about themselves and see how they're showing up. And especially, a lot of my listeners are women that are very high achieving. And I would say for the most part, they would say that their life is pretty good. They have a good circle of friends. They have, they have their own careers. They have overall a really nice life. But what's been missing is truly, honestly, when it comes to the matters of their heart. And so when my team and I, and we were looking, and we found you, and we were just like blown away by your content and the work that you're doing in this world and how you are really helping women. I thought about this. Before we actually get into your story, kind of how you grew up, and I really want to know that. I want to know, just in your opinion, what do you think for the most part, Esther, like seriously, what do you feel is going on with women and not really being able to find the love that they are desiring?
Yeah, thank you for that beautiful introduction. That was
Thank you.
really amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Well, I think that people have a wrong mindset, women especially, because women talk to me, my clients who I, counsel, they talk to me about, I can't find, where is this man? I can't find him. So then you already have a mindset that's limited because you don't need to find anybody. You need to be busy with yourself in this life and to make yourself into this person who's really satisfied and grateful. And I think most people are focused on what we don't have, and we're not focused on what we actually have and what we should be grateful for. Because my vision of life
Okay.
is, and my mindset, my attitude towards life is that when you focus on yourself and on doing good for others, then you become the perfect partner for somebody to find you. A man should always find the woman. The woman shouldn't go out and find any man. A woman should be busy with her self-development, and be the best version of you, because you attract what you are. You don't attract what you want. We women, we live with these fantasies, about how a man should be, he should be this height and have a six pack, and he should have this kind of income.
It's
And
very external. Yes.
yes, it's very
It's
external.
interesting. Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah,
And then
it's
keep
very
going. Yeah.
superficial. And
Yes.
I always try to convince my clients that that is not the important thing that holds a relationship together. That's not what a healthy relationship should be about. A healthy relationship should be about, are you willing to invest in this? Do you fit with each other? Do you feel comfortable together? Do you feel that this is your person that you want to live with and share your life with?
Yes.
So I think, yeah, we are also very much influenced by the internet nowadays. Women, they see all these picture perfect people. So it's hard. Yeah, there is this mindset of, where is this man? I need to
Yes.
find this man. And I think we should shift that mindset and start to focus more on, I am already okay. Because when you already feel grateful and fulfilled from within, it's way easier to attract love, because love you attract, you don't
Yes.
chase.
Yes. No, this is mama, this is already good off the beginning. Absolutely. And that's why we're going to have you on today, because when it comes to exactly what you just said, what else are you noticing then gets in our way? Because that is girlfriend, thank you so much. That
You're
is
welcome.
no, that is spot on what you just said. That I don't think women are really understanding the dynamics of their environments and how they are actually, and I just want to say this real quick. Ladies, listen, it's actually sometimes not even your fault, because of all the noise and the ways that we grow up. And it really puts us in a very disempowering place. And so talk about that. Like when you have clients that come to you, and I know you work with a lot of people and you have a lot of people.
Yeah.
What is the common things that you are hearing? What are the common things that you're hearing with women, and why they feel they are not finding, a great guy?
Yeah, the common issues with women is that there is this lack of self-awareness nowadays, because we live in a very superficial world. We live in a me era. We live in an era that we don't have any patience. We order something now from Amazon, and if there's no next day delivery, we're not interested, or same day delivery. So we are not really aware of who we actually are, what we are all about, what's important in life, because we are so focused on everything that's outside of us. People used to be way more busy with everything that was inside, because there was not such a fast pace of life. Now we communicate via telephones, there is no real life interaction
Esther,
anymore
that
on a
is such
daily
a good
basis.
point.
Yeah. So that has shifted our belief system into believing that everything that we need to feel fulfilled comes from somewhere outside of us, from
Yes.
ordering something on Amazon, from meeting this guy on a dating app, from getting attention from somebody who likes my pictures or whatever. So we are not tuned in anymore with ourselves. And that's also one of the reasons why women have lost this being in touch with their gut instinct.
Yes. They're feminine.
This is actually, this is actually a huge talent that we women have, our gut instinct. And we
Yes.
have lost the how to connect to this. We don't know anymore how to use it, because the other problem we have nowadays is that women live like men. We have, from the moment on that we started to work and we started to compete with men, we have adapted our lifestyle to living like men. You see
Yes.
also women, they get the same diseases like men do. They also get heart attacks and stuff like that, and lung cancer, because women have the same stress like men have. So, and this has also made us lose this being in touch with our feminine side, with this beautiful side of just being, because feminine energy is all about being. It's not about doing. It's not about
Exactly.
going after something. It's not about
Exactly.
the feeling that you miss something.
Yes.
Feminine energy is actually a very beautiful energy that's all about being very creative, like
Creative.
drawing, like going outside in nature and being in touch with yourself. So
Oh,
this is,
Esther, that is
yeah.
so good. Oh
So
my
it's
goodness.
it's
First of all,
interesting. Yeah, I get.
fantastic you're talking about this. You are like just so spot on with how you, because I know. Oh, so good. Okay, sorry. I get a little excited here. Get a little excited. When what you're really touching me also right now when you're talking about feminine energy, because I am in total in alignment with you here. I really think, and I say this all the time too, one thing that I believe with all my heart, and I've seen it and I've done it and I've experienced this, is how powerful our feminine energy is.
It's
It is
amazing.
truly, honestly, a woman's superpower. And when you're talking about today about how women are not really in touch with their intuition, with their gut, which is the feminine, because that is really what's going on. Women are so much, and again, ladies, it's not your fault. This is the programming that we are getting out in society. Seriously. That's why we're having a show like this. That's why we're talking to people like Esther, so we can start having a different dialogue, because we can start actually shifting this. So there's hope here. This is awesome. So
Of
what I
course
was going to
there's
say
hope.
to you, I was going to say to you, when you're talking about that feminine energy, and you're so spot on. I loved how you said that women are not understanding. We are actually living like men. We are so concentrating in our, up in our head with all the thinking and the doing, that we are not allowing ourselves to, like you said,
Exactly.
relax, be. Talk about this. Let me ask you this question. This is so good. Talk about the power. Woo, I'm getting some chills, girlfriend. Talk about the power of when a woman is truly understanding and allow her in herself, because sometimes women think that, oh, that's weak. Girlfriend, it's not weak. It's powerful. It's so powerful that you can actually bring a man to his knees. Okay. So talk about the difference, what happens when a woman is really understanding this concept, and especially with the matters of the heart, when they get into learn how to step into their feminine, what starts changing?
Well, what I teach to all of my clients is to restrict with your energy. This is very important,
Okay, let's
because
talk about it.
one thing we do wrong as women, I think, is that
Okay.
we are so obsessed with what men do or don't do. We basically react. That's what we do.
Okay.
So a man doesn't call us, we react because we get upset. We send him a text message like, this is not working for me, or what happened? Are we okay? Are we still good? Stuff like that.
Okay.
So we women, instead of focusing so much on what a man does and doesn't do, and then reacting to that, we should completely restrict with giving all this energy to men, and literally turn it around, look in the other direction. And that's why I see that many women, they struggle with texting nowadays,
Yes.
because men don't reply all the time, or they are supposed to text and they don't text, or a woman sits next to her phone and waits for 3 days for this guy to text and he never does, or he texts 30 texts per day for 2 weeks and then he ghosts her. So all these reactions we have to that actually destroy our power.
Yes.
Because a woman's power lies in her silence and in her not giving her energy to a man.
Oh, Esther,
Yes.
Esther, let's say that again, Mama. Please
Yeah,
break
and you
that
know
down a
what?
little bit.
You know what? I've tested this many times with my
Okay, let's
clients.
talk about that.
Men have a talent.
Okay.
They are like sharks. They smell it when a woman's energy is about them. As soon as a woman is able to start to focus on herself and on her being instead of on reacting to what he does or doesn't do, you see this man appears. I have this with all my clients. They tell me, how did you know? I don't know. I'm not a magician, but I know about energies because one and one is two. And this is not me who is, so smart. This is
Yeah,
just how it works.
this is how it works.
But it takes practice. This is what I work on with my clients because you cannot switch this overthinking, being over busy with men and being in this reactive defensive mode all the time, being tuned into your masculine energy. You can just switch that off and tune into your feminine energy. Most women don't even know what it exactly means being in your feminine energy. And how do I do that? They ask me this all the time. So you have to practice with small things.
You have to practice
And
positive. Let's talk about that.
yes.
Talk about right now. So, oh, this is so good. Talk about right now. Let's say for the listeners, let's say women are listening right now, Esther, and they're like, "Ooh, this is good, ladies," and they are kind of like, "Huh, this is resonating," because I think this is going to resonate with a lot of us women. Okay, and so this is resonating when they're hearing this, and they're not really familiar also on how to start stepping into their feminine, right? What
Yes.
are some things that they can do to be aware and be immediately start shifting that a little bit? Can you kind of explain a couple little things how
Of course.
okay.
That's the easy part.
Okay.
So, what you should basically do is set aside an X amount of time per day. I
Mm,
always say, like, if you can, half an hour. If you can't, 15 minutes is also good. But it should be done on a daily basis because that's how
okay.
you practice. If you want to practice to be more tuned into your feminine energy, you have to look at this as if you're going to start to learn a foreign language.
I
If you
love it.
don't practice, a few words every day, you will never learn that language. So
I
you have
love
to
it.
practice, okay?
Ladies, you
So
got to be intentional here. You got to
yes,
practice. You got to be intentional. This is not
yes,
something that we do every once in a while. To make changes in your life, to actually make changes, listen to what she just said. You have to practice, and to practice, you have to be intentional every single day. I love this. Okay.
yes. You have to be intentional and you have to be
Mhm.
consistent. And
Yes.
that time slot has to be put in your agenda as if it's a business meeting.
Oh,
Because what we do as women, the things we do for ourselves or we want to do for ourselves, are usually the last things on our list.
I
And
know.
9 out of 10, it's like, oh, yeah, no, I'll do it tomorrow. Because we're so exhausted by everything else and all the other obligations that, for example, this reading a book for half an hour or doing a face mask or going for a nice walk outside or listening to beautiful music, we don't do it because
Yeah,
we think like, I don't have time, I'm exhausted, I need to cook dinner or whatever, I won't do it.
it's a
So
good point.
that's why I do this also for myself. I
Okay.
add this to my agenda as if it's a business appointment because
Wonderful.
then I will stick to it. You see, if I write in my agenda, like today I'm going to listen to a podcast for half an hour, I might not do it. But if it's like a business appointment, I will do it because it's a
I love it.
meeting with myself for myself. It's me time. So, what you can also do, besides, like, for example, something creative, like reading a book, drawing, listening to music, taking a long bath, putting on a face mask, going for a walk outside in nature, doing something with flowers, buying flowers to add them to your house. All these things are very feminine.
Hmm.
Doing something with the decor of your house. Besides these things, you can also literally be busy with dressing more feminine. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but fashion is also for women like super masculine nowadays. Everything is oversized, and we walk around with trousers and jackets as if it's like men's clothing.
Okay, can
So,
you hold on, hold on. Okay. Oh, this is so good. So good, good, good. Let's touch on that for a second too. Okay, let's touch on that. This is good. This is good. Let's talk about the clothing in the sense of how if you are a woman and you are truly attracted to a man, and usually for the most part, and I'm sure you agree with this, usually for the most part, women are really attracted to a more masculine man. Okay. And so, for the most part, if you want yourself a masculine man, you have to understand that a masculine man is not going to be attracted to a masculine woman. And
Exactly, because there's no polarity
there's
like
no
that.
polarity there. That's not going to work. And so usually if women, this is exactly why she's saying what she's saying. And if a woman is more in her masculine energy and she's not even dressing or being in her feminine, which is, like I told you, it's a superpower, what do you think she's going to attract? You ladies, you're going to attract men that are in their feminine energy. And this is where the disappointment comes. So, what Esther is saying right now, it's so important that we understand what we are looking for so we can attract what we really are desiring. That is so good that you said that, because I think a lot of people forget that part. I think they think like, oh, if he's going to love me, he should just love me the way I am.
Yes, but women, this again, actually, when a woman says he should love me the way I am,
The way I am.
a woman doesn't realize that that actually comes from masculine energy. That's defensive, that's aggressive, and it also comes from fear.
Yes,
Like,
it does.
And the other thing that I want to add to this is like, who are you then? Because right now you are not the same person like you were 5 years ago. So every 5 years you are a different person, and you should love that person. So you're just fooling yourself when you say these things, and it makes you also look weak in a way when you become so defensive. I think it's a beautiful thing to invest in feeling more feminine through the way you dress. It actually helps a lot. I see it also with myself. When I wear a dress, I move differently than from when I wear a jeans and a pullover, right?
Yes.
You feel more feminine, you feel better with yourself. So that's why I always say to everybody, and I also said this in some videos, like, dress up for your man if you are in a relationship, instead of dressing up for the world out there that are all people you don't care about. Invest really in your life at home, because at home is when you are with your partner and when you should focus on having a quality life and living the life as a feminine. Because so many clients of mine, they complain about their men being tuned into their feminine energy. Yeah, that's but because you are so loud as a woman, you've become so demanding, and the way you present yourself are almost like a man. So
yes,
you know how I mean that. You're obviously not a man,
I
but
am totally here with you, because
it comes across very aggressive.
yes,
And that's
that
something
was
that,
me.
yeah,
That was me back in
really,
the.
yeah.
Oh yes. So as you see, I just want to. So ladies, I want you to hear this. This is real. So as you see, I am a very feminine woman. I am, and I carry myself very feminine. Not always. And what happened was I didn't realize that. So I always considered myself truly an attractive lady. I did. I've never thought that I didn't really never thought I wasn't attractive, but I didn't realize that even though my physical part, Esther, like I look feminine, girlfriend, I was very masculine. I was very, very much in my head. I was very much, been a successful woman. So I've, been very much a doer, doer, doer. I'm a mom. I have 4 children. So I've been like
Wow.
I've been going and going and going. And I didn't realize how, and this is not about me today. I just want people to hear this. Me also. I didn't realize how that was really affecting my relationships that I had with men and really what I wanted. And so I really appreciate you talking about this. This is really helpful today. So, okay, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Keep going. Yes, thank you. Keep
No,
going.
don't be sorry.
Yeah.
No, this is very important. And we very often don't realize that as women, how
Yes.
important it actually is. And
Yes.
that doesn't mean that you make yourself weaker by adjusting to what a man would like to see because you're wearing a
No.
dress. It doesn't
No.
work like that.
No.
I believe that all these things you literally do for yourself in the first place. Because when you feel good about yourself and when you feel feminine and empowered, that is when you attract good stuff.
Correct.
So again, this is not about men,
No.
this is again about you and how you treat yourself, basically. And I also think that especially when you are in a relationship, you should treat yourself the same as when you're not in a relationship. I see
Oh, I
very,
love that.
yeah, because I see very often women, they make so much effort to get the guy, They're
Yeah.
so focused on
Yeah.
getting him. I always ask these stupid questions like a mother would ask, like, are
Okay.
you
Yeah.
sure that he's the right catch? How do you feel with him? Do you feel comfortable and all that stuff? And they just focus on getting him. So they go
Okay.
through all this trouble, which is exhausting. And
Exhausting.
basically, they're not really themselves. And then when they have the guy, they don't make the effort anymore.
Yeah.
And this is a big mistake, because a man, if he thinks you are this goddess, and then later on, you walk around with loungewear, you don't wash your hair, I don't know what, because you don't care anymore, because you believe that he should accept you just the way you are.
Right. We go back to that. Yep.
Yeah, then don't complain if at some point he starts to look at other women. What can I do? It's just
Oh
nature.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Men are very visual.
They are
Men are
so
visual
visual.
beings. So
And it's
they
the same
like it.
thing.
And they like it when they see their woman taking care of themselves, right? Because they want to be proud of you.
Oh, I love that. You know what? That is, oh my goodness. Think about that. No, literally, let's talk about that. If you're in a relationship, and let's say what Esther just said, that you used to get the man, you put the effort in, and then he used to court you, take you out on dates, and you guys were having this yin and the yang and the polarity, and everything was fantastic. Then you get in the relationship. Think about this. And then you start not noticing your part. Then you start noticing, you know what? I noticed like he's not taking me out on a date anymore. I noticed that he's not like really pursuing me anymore. And then you start complaining, putting that all on the man. But the reality is that you stopped too. And so if a man is not continuously also courting you, because I really believe that, Esther, I believe when you get into the relationship, that's when it all starts. That's when we have to continue on dating and courting and keeping it alive and keeping it fun. But how is that going to happen if you were, like you said, you were the goddess in the beginning, and then now all of a sudden you like totally checked out? Talk about that. Seriously. That's good.
Yeah, usually, not always, right?
Not
But
always.
usually I see a pattern. Like I see a woman making lots of effort
Okay.
to get the guy. The guy pursues, they does all the right steps. Then once the guy has the woman, of course he slows down.
Mhm.
Of course he's not going to send flowers every day and take her out times a week and buy her Cartier bracelets. But a woman gets used to what a guy gives her. So she believes that he should just continue on the same level with giving, 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 and her just receiving.
Yep, not
When she
working.
sees that he starts to slow down, basically he's getting comfortable because he's satisfied that he got the girl. But she starts to complain now, like, dude,
Yep.
before you were doing all these things, what happened? I don't want to sit
Mhm.
on the sofa with you.
Yep.
And when she starts doing that, the complaining part, then he stops even more with doing things for her.
Correct.
Because the most important thing for any man is to feel appreciated.
Yes.
So if he feels that he's doing the whatever he's doing wrong, or it's not enough, then he will be more passive.
Yes.
And then you lose all the, all the attraction there was
All
in the
the action.
beginning.
That's true.
Yes.
But
And
sure,
then I get these phone calls like, Esther, he's not doing anything anymore. And, I keep telling him, why don't you do this anymore? And that. And then I say, start with restricting your energy. Stop talking and see what he does. And whatever he does, even if he brings you a coffee, thank him for it. And then it starts again. The good stuff starts again, I mean. So a woman has way more power than she realizes in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Because a woman can break a man and she can build a man, right?
Yes.
So once you realize that being reactive to what a man does is destructive to your relationship, your whole life will change.
That's so good. So what would you say then, Esther, what would you say then? Thank you for saying that. What would you say in the sense of a woman says, Esther, there's no more good men out there. I've tried. There's no more good men. Like I said, I'm I'm successful. I have a good circle of friends, and everything I'm attracting is just,
Yes, that is because, first of all, you have so many expectations because you have a good job, right? You have your life in order. So you're like, Esther, I'm ready to go. I make my own money. I look gorgeous. I go to the gym. So I want a guy who's like me and better.
yep.
So that is already, you come into the world with a certain attitude of, I have all these expectations, right?
Okay. Okay.
And so that's already very scary. That scares me when I hear women say this. I will like, calm down, stop with the expectations. Just date and see with each date if you like this person,
Yes.
if you had a nice time, and go home and then think, did I feel good? Yeah, I feel good. Would I like to see that person again? Yes. And don't think like, is he like me? How much money does he make? Did he do all these right steps? So again, pull back your energy, restrict with all your energy. Don't be so aggressive. Step one. Step two, if you want to date a man and you want a good guy and you believe that all the good men are, we lost them.
Yeah, they're
then
gone. They're gone. They're
yes,
all taken.
yes, then this is exactly what you will get. Because if I tell you, like, Charlene, there are no good men out there.
Correct.
My wish to the universe is that I attract men who are no good, because I
Correct.
already believe that. This
Yes.
is my belief system, is there are no good men.
Yep.
So what men am I going to meet? Men who are no good.
Yes.
If I tell you, Charlene, there are good men. And why shouldn't there be good men? There are good women as well. So they're good men as well, right? Doesn't make any
Absolutely.
sense.
And
There are only good
ladies,
women.
no,
And there are
the
no good
majority of
men.
men, I want to say this right now. The majority of men out there are good people. They're good men.
The thing is that we got it a bit twisted.
Yes.
Because we are so advanced nowadays as women that we have made ourselves believe that we can do everything. We can be married, be a great wife, mother, work, have 5 kids, keep the household, have a career, look gorgeous.
It's exhausting.
And that is a myth.
Yep.
Women are depleted nowadays because we have set ourselves up with this, myth of we can do it all. Men are way smarter.
Yeah.
Men know they're limited. Men know that, look, I need to focus on my work. That is something that I do that's outside of the house.
Correct.
If I need to do chores in the house, I need to help with the babies, I need to help with the laundry and the dishwasher, that's fine, but it's not on my priority.
Correct.
So a man is smart. He gives his energy to his work. And whatever is left, he gives it to the relationship and to the rest, what else is in their lives.
Right.
So we should understand that about men. Because what we want nowadays from men is we want them to help 50-50 in the household because we can't do it anymore alone. But this is all what we set it up like that. There's no man on earth who will tell you, yeah, I love doing chores in the house. I love it that you're working and I have to do all these extra things now in my life.
Right.
Men are not, it's not in their DNA. Men are, built to work, to compete with other men. That's when they thrive. So we have to understand that men are limited, and that's also a good thing to make you accept men more easily.
Yes.
And not to have all these expectations. In the time that my mother, for example, her generation looked for a husband, she looked for a guy who was a good guy, a guy who was decent, and a guy that she felt good with. Now we don't want a guy who's decent and we feel good with. We want a guy who can solve our problems, be our financial advisor, be our best friend, help with the kids, be our soulmate. We expect
that's so true. Because really, when it comes back to like how we all were created from the beginning, if you and I, Esther, trust me, if we were, I don't even know what year, let's go way back, we would literally be looking for the strongest man that can bring home the meat, like literally, like the hunter, like someone that can bring home, because we're gonna nurture, and we're gonna pick the best suitor for us. Is gonna be okay. That's the one that's gonna make sure that we are not going to starve. Like literally, we're not going to starve. And so when we've tried, I love that we're talking about this. And with society, like we said, ladies, again, I'm telling you, it's almost not your fault. And that's why we got to have these conversations. We got to keep it real because we got to make sure that we are shifting this energy so we can actually, be able to come together as man and woman and really help each other thrive in a relationship and be each other's helpmate and allow each other to do what everyone has a job. Honestly, in the relationship, there's things that women should really understand. Their thing that men don't have that they can provide, and there's things that men can do that that they can provide. And that's why I love this, because this is the shift.
Mhm.
This is the shift that needs to start happening. How do women start actually pausing here? And I know that you're giving the steps. How do they start pausing here to know what they really are looking for? Because when you work with women, Esther, and you talk to them, and I know they start, being able to take the layers down, right? I know the women start taking the layers down. What are women? What are you hearing? What are they truly longing for?
I think they don't know what they're longing for, to be honest. I
Okay.
really don't think they know. And that's a big, big problem. And that's what
Okay.
I help them with, to
Okay.
understand what you should be longing for and then to ask yourself these questions. You see, with men, you make it way easier for yourself if you learn to understand what your real priorities are.
Yes.
For example, if you grew up in a household that there was never any money, or your father was like gambling money away, or I don't know what, it was risky,
Okay.
then probably what you need the most in a man is that you know that he's a provider, that you can feel financially safe, that you won't, be deprived of money to buy food.
Right.
So that's one thing. That's
Okay.
very honest and that's
Yes.
very clear and
Yes.
practical, right?
Yes.
So if you understand this about yourself, this has to do again with the self-awareness that I told you about in the beginning.
Yes.
Because we have set ourselves up with these complicated lives that we wanted to believe that we can handle all that at the same time.
Yeah.
We should also look at ourselves and allow ourselves to understand that we are all also limited. It's very, very hard, almost impossible, to have all these things at the same time and you thrive in each department. You are an amazing mother, an amazing wife, a great chef at home for your kids. Everything runs smooth in your life.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting and it's almost impossible. And why
Yeah.
should you set yourself up with all that?
Yeah.
So you can have everything as a woman, but not at the same time. And men know this. Again, men are smart. They know this. So you have to understand what it really is that you're looking for, because women are a bit lost because they are so influenced by all these perfect men out there who have money and are, the sports cars and are successful, that it's very blurry what's actually important. And then your self-awareness, like it's okay to not be okay in all these things,
I love that. Yes.
because we women, we shame each other, we are
Yes.
like, if you as a woman nowadays say, you know what, I don't need a man, but I really want a man.
Yes.
It's almost like, what? You shouldn't want a man, and why you can do everything alone nowadays, and girl power and boss bitch and all
No,
that,
I hate it.
but it's nice to admit that you're limited. It's nice
Yes.
to admit that you just want a guy, and who's a good guy without all these other, you make it difficult for yourself when you have all
Yes.
these expectations.
Well, I think it's
You,
what you just said. I think it's that programming. I really believe it's the programming because I often, I talk to women a lot too, and I often hear, well, you know what? I mean, I could do it on my own. And they have this also like this pride, and that was me. Honestly, this was me back in the day. I am not like this right now. I am the opposite with my husband. I mean, you guys would be like, what happened to Charlene? I am like, okay, well, but before I would pride myself like, I don't ask for help, Esther. I don't have for help. I can do
I
it all on my
know.
own. And I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I was actually in a relationship. I was married to a man that I was very much in love with for 23 years. And I
Wow.
exhausted myself out of that relationship. I am not kidding you. I left the
Yeah.
guy. And life happens the way it happens. And now I'm in a different relationship. I'm crazy in love with my husband. But I'm saying I was exhausted. I really believe this, Esther. I really, really believe this with all my heart, because I grew up in an environment that, women will literally, the program that I got, you can't trust a man,
Yeah.
you got to do it on your own. You got to be strong. And I'm like, oof, I exhausted myself to the point I was like, I didn't ask for help. I did it all myself. I burnt myself out and I wasn't having the relationship. Thank you for saying this.
When a man is in a relationship, one of his main missions is to make his woman happy, right?
Yes,
So he
yes,
wants to do things for her. So if
yes.
you have become this woman who's so super independent, wants to do everything alone, has this attitude like, I don't need your help, I can do it on
Yes,
my own, like almost in an aggressive way, then he feels useless in the relationship. You see,
perfect.
he
That,
doesn't have a place in the relationship. And then you want this masculine man, but you're not attracting him because you don't have the right energy about you to attract this masculine man who actually wants to do things for you.
correct,
So
correct.
I think most of the change in the last like 50, 60 years has happened to women.
Okay.
And that's why women need to reinvent themselves now if they want to move forward and attract healthy relationships. We
Let's
have to
talk
make a
about
few
that. No,
changes.
that's so good because that was the next thing I was going to ask you. Oh, girl, we are right in alignment here. Oh my goodness. I was going to ask you, what advice, and I know you're going there right now. What advice for our listeners today? Because you guys, let me just say something. Today we are opening up this conversation. And this is a conversation that needs to start happening. Like really, truly. That's why I created a podcast like this to help people have and create great love in their life because it's possible for all of us. But we have to also take responsibility for how we're showing up and what we're doing so we can get we can get what we're desiring. And I love what Esther said. If you're not even sure, that's why you have people like me, like Esther. You can actually reach out to Esther. You can work with Esther. You guys, you can actually, let me just tell
Absolutely.
you something. Absolutely. Her Instagram, Esther, can you just share your Instagram real quick?
Yes, it's my name, Esther Sarphatie. You can have the link to your
Yeah,
podcast
we'll
episode.
leave the link in the show
Yes,
notes. Esther is so good at really getting to the point and helping people, make some shifts in their lives. So today is just an opportunity so you can kind of hear her work and get in her world, but she's going to share something also right now so you can apply something now into your life. So I'm sorry, you keep going.
Now, what was your question?
So for the ladies out there, like we were just talking about, and they are single and they're dating and they're not getting, the luck that they want. What is a tip that you want to give them so they can like have a different awareness?
Well, I have one very good tip. I just
Okay.
wrote a book, which will be out by the time you have your podcast,
Oh,
this
please.
episode ready.
Let's
And
get
in
that,
that
ladies.
book, I explain everything, how from A to Z, how to attract this guy and how to understand also if, if he's the guy. Because women are so incredibly insecure nowadays because we're not in touch with our gut feeling, right?
Yes.
That we are very insecure about. Is it Jeff? Is it Jake? I'm not sure. They seem both nice. I feel good, whatever.
Which one?
So
Yeah, yeah.
there is also an other issue that I see with many of my clients. They are in such a hurry. I get these stories of, yeah, I'm 30, I just froze my eggs, and I don't
Oh,
want to
that's
waste
a
my
good
time. And
point.
we went on
Yes.
3 dates, and what should I do? I always say, date this guy till you hate this guy. Because, yeah, it's true. Men are also nervous about dating.
Yes.
They also don't
Yes.
know exactly how to please every woman and how to be this guy. And it's also true nowadays that because women, we have such high demands, that many men are also not willing to expose themselves immediately financially for the very first date and take you
Right.
to the best restaurant and all
Right.
that stuff, all this amazing romantic stuff.
Expectations. Yeah. Like, come
Yeah,
on,
because
ladies. Yeah.
they feel a little bit defensive, men
Yeah.
nowadays, because I also have male clients who I talk to, and they tell me these stories like, I want to play it safe. I prefer just to go for a drink and see if we click and how it
Yes.
goes. And then I go through I book a restaurant thing and whatever. I go through the whole trouble. So I think that women shouldn't be in such a rush to
I
see,
agree.
like, can I book the guy? Can I make him mine? Do all the right
Yes.
steps, etc. And I really think you should give it time to get to know this guy, and
Yes.
to write down on a list the plus and the minuses
Yes.
and how you feel and how you think that you're showing up on these dates, right? And
Oh, men, you know
yeah,
what I love that you just said that about men? Oh my goodness, girlfriend. Men, that is exactly how men actually value what they earn. And a woman's, again, talk about the superpower being in your feminine. There is such power in courtship. There's such power in allowing, and I this is what I say, right? I think you're gonna like this one. I always believe that it is truly a man's job to pursue, but it's a woman's job to set the pace. We set the pace. And so we have this opportunity to really get to know him. So when you are really touching on something, slow it down. Go there. Yeah, that's wonderful.
absolutely. Yeah, you set the pace. He sets the intention and you set the
Yes.
pace. So take it slow, take your time, don't jump to conclusions, don't see in every man immediately if he could be the one. It's like when I put you in a room with 100 men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell you, Charlene, choose who you really find
Okay.
attractive.
Okay.
You will probably tell me that one, maybe one more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And this makes total sense. I mean,
Yeah.
when you meet 100 people, they're not all like gorgeous, good looking, or what you
Yeah.
imagine a person should look like. So if you go on one date and you come with these stories like, Esther, I dated this guy for 3 times, but I don't know and I'm not sure, continue dating him,
Yes.
because you
Yes.
have to figure out what this person is about. So give it
Yes.
time.
Yes.
That's like one of the most important advices I give.
I
And
love
I
that.
have this very often with women who tell me, but how should I be more open to attract somebody? I
Okay.
can't just stand in a bar and be on my phone.
Yeah.
Well, for example, what men really like is to feel that they're helpful, because it's good for their ego.
Yes.
When they do something for a woman, it makes them feel better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for example, you're at the gym, it's the
Okay.
easiest place to meet a guy and not to feel awkward. Just ask a man to help you with a machine or change the weight or how something works. Uh, you know how many clients I've helped with that? And they have dates now with men from the gym.
Esther,
Easiest thing.
that's brilliant because
Yeah,
that is
so
so
simple.
simple. It's the most simple thing. Then you
Yeah,
don't have to sit there, ladies. Honestly, come on, come on. You don't have to say you're not pursuing the guy. Absolutely, you're just giving him an opportunity. It's like the old thing that we say is called, back in the day, the handkerchief drop. It's literally like a little
exactly.
handkerchief drop. It is allowing him to know, hey, and oh, I love it. I think that's what it is. Sometimes we forget the simplicity, the sexiness of those little whispers. And if you're at the gym, listen to what she said. That was brilliant. If you're
But
at the gym,
men also
tell
don't
me.
approach women because we have an
Yeah.
attitude.
Yes.
We are weird. Like a man looks at you in a bar and you go, "Ah," you look
Ah,
the other way.
yes.
Smile. The best way to attract a man anywhere on this planet, in any culture, is to
Any
just
culture.
smile.
Yep.
That's so attractive. Smile for a few seconds, and the guy, it's like the handkerchief, that females used to drop. That's the message you send out there. So it's not that hard, but because we believe that we are so self-aware of our actions, we believe that everybody pays so much attention to every little thing. Nobody cares. So
Nobody
just do
cares.
your thing, relax
Yeah.
more.
Yes.
It's all
Relax more.
about being more relaxed with yourself. That's
That's
when you attract.
that's what it is. Oh my goodness. How did I get into your world? Ladies, don't you just love her? And you know what's so funny? Let me just say, wait. So today, before we got on this podcast today, we were having a little bit of technical difficulties. And I am so sorry. It was
Don't
out of our
worry.
hands. It was out of Esther's hands, out of my hands. It was the universe. But it didn't matter because Esther and I were going to have this conversation no matter what. But
Yes.
because we had to wait a little time, Esther and I, we kind of like, okay, we have to, stop at a certain time because I would literally keep her on. Trust me, you guys, I would keep her on for a long time. And
So
if you
sweet.
and if you
Thank
love
you.
this, if you love this conversation as much as I'm loving this conversation, Esther's my new co-host, and we're gonna keep talking about this. But I don't want to keep you because I know that you have a
Yeah, I'm
time
so
a time
sorry.
limit. No,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. But overall, how do they truly? I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and how do they get into your world, and how do they work with you?
So my website is almost done. So then you
Okay,
can just go to my website and click on all the digital packages that I offer. What I mainly do is private coaching.
I love it.
What I like to do is work with my clients in a one-on-one setting so
I
that
love
I
it.
can really focus on you because each woman or man is unique and every situation is unique
Yes.
and needs a different kind of approach. And what I also like is really literally to pull people out of the darkness, when they
Oh,
have to go through major life changes like a
yes.
divorce, or you change countries, how to set up your life again, or you want to reinvent yourself because you finally want to lose weight or build on your self-confidence or attract this man, who you want in your life. I really love to work on those serious topics with clients because that's when I can really be useful to you, because I
And
have many, many, many tricks in my book.
no, but
So,
that's what I want people to really get also. Something so beautiful and so powerful when you really invest in a coach that can help you. Not only, it's not just about accountability, it's about perspective. It's about really also holding your hand through times that you don't have to do this alone. And it is such a powerful thing to do for yourself. And I always tell people, I said, you know what? Honestly, you don't have to take years and years to figure things out. You can actually hire someone that just like Esther said, how she can guide you and help you and be with you along the journey and give you this different perspective. It will literally, you ladies, listen to me. It will catapult you. It will catapult your life. It will put you in such a different view of things and just a different perspective. And not only that, it will allow you to have a different confidence. It will allow you to have what we talk about, as coaches, you'll have some, tools in your toolbox, and it'll give you, opportunities to change it up. And especially, when it comes to the manners of the heart, if, you're not getting that luck that you're wanting, hire a coach. Reach out to people like Esther. Reach out to me. This is the work we're doing. This is what we're here for. Seriously. And I just appreciate you so much, Esther.
thank
And
you.
and I love, I mean, seriously, you are one hell of a woman. I'm telling you, I watch your stuff. I'm like, wow, that's talk about just watch her Instagram. She is so on point. So she's not weak. She's very feminine, but she's also very direct. And the way that she says it, you guys are gonna binge her. I'm telling you, like binge watch her because it's so intriguing how you have this way about you and how you do it, and it's really helpful and it's actually very sexy.
Thank
And
you.
I just want to let you know that. But
It's always good to be
definitely,
sexy.
yes, it's always good to be sexy. I want to leave you with the last advice or word or something that that you would like to say.
Yeah, I would just like to advise everybody to, like you said, hire somebody like me because, the truth is we are kids and then at some point we turn 18 and we have to just face everything in the world as if we know how to deal with everything. And now I also have the enough life experience to realize that that's impossible to do everything right. When you have a mentor, somebody who can guide you, somebody who can teach you, how it goes without having to suffer doing everything by yourself, your quality of life will be so much better, and you will make better life choices. So, yeah, this is what I would like to say because with whomever I've worked together, their lives have changed for the better. And that's why I love my job so much. I'm super grateful because the success of my clients feeds my soul, you see. So that's what I would like to
It's
end
a
this
win-win.
podcast with.
It's really a win-win. It's a win-win.
Absolutely.
No, thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you for doing this work. Ladies, oh my goodness. I hope that went so fast. I hope that that was, valuable for you. And I hope it gave you a different perspective and it got you excited that there's changes that you can make. So you're not stuck. Ladies, you're not stuck. Trust me, there's great men out there. You're not stuck. You maybe sometimes you just need some guidance. That's all you need. Esther, listen, can we have you back when your book is out in the world? Can we have you back?
Absolutely.
We would love because you guys, we didn't have an opportunity to hear about Esther and her journey. And oh, it's so good. And
Yes.
so I know. So can we literally have you back? We would love you back for your book. Please let us know when your book's ready. We'd love to
Absolutely.
have you back. We'd love to get into your journey, your story, because you're an incredible woman. And I'm just so
Thank you.
grateful that you're on the show today.
It was wonderful to be on your show. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And everyone, until next time, cheers to great love.
That's a wrap. Wow. That was such an insightful and eye-opening conversation that I had with Esther today. I loved how she shared about what it takes to have peace and confidence within to attract great love. I appreciate so much our conversation about our feminine energy and how powerful our intuition is and how needed it is. Women are amazing and we are good just the way we are. We don't need to be men. And when we know who we are and we know exactly what it is that we are looking for in a partner and in a relationship, and that's when everything starts to change. Because the truth is, great love is available to all of us. We absolutely need to believe and take the steps to get there. If you're loving this podcast and these incredible conversations, please hit the subscribe button and leave a 5-star review. Don't miss an episode because each week I'll be bringing on guests and experts who will share their knowledge about love, dating, and relationships so you can apply it into your own life. I'll see you next week. And until then, cheers to great love.